and had a tie. So clearly these two players are right neck and neck with one another as far as skill is concerned. And so with that, we are starting up, and it's going to be Frog versus Bunny. Let's see what happens here in Link's house.
Frog versus Bunny, indeed, yes. They are definitely matched up. Both have very good skill. Both made very interesting routing decisions. There's our Moon Pearl to start off. They made very interesting routing decisions in their games, and we shall see what we end up with.
And we get a map check there with Tower of Hera being the purple pendant. We got a 5/6 crystal at Eastern Palace. That's actually kind of exciting if they get a bow early on, and then another crystal hanging out down in the desert. So nice early map check for us.
Yeah, now chances are they're not going to find a bow. Okay, so they're starting with Kane of Samaria.
Yeah, now that means that they're going to have to be careful about magic, but Kane of Samaria is actually a nicer one to hunt for bombs with, because you can do what iamtheschwarz is doing there and make use of the block to actually do some damage, and gives you an opportunity to kill a few more items than other magic item starts have.
Absolutely. I know that if you start with the Fire Rod, you only have 8 hits, so you really have to watch your magic for that, and it's really hard to farm for bombs with something such as the Fire Rod, which takes a lot of your magic.
Yeah, and of course there are magic pots along the way, but many of them are hidden in pots that you don't normally pick up. So it's not surprising for runners to either not know about them or to just bypass them. But with Kane of Samaria, doesn't use all that much magic, so it would be surprising if we have a situation where they're just so unlucky that they can't get a bomb. But stranger things have happened. So just a big 20 here in that first chest guard by the blue guard.
Absolutely. I noticed that Wulfy was having a little bit of trouble getting the blue guard to cooperate. I mean, if I was a blue guard, I would probably be trying to run away too.
Yeah, you know, like, it's very easy to dodge a big giant orange block, so it doesn't surprise me that they avoid it.
And so far I saw the blue guard was holding a 5-arrow drop, so we'll see if there's any other drops in their prize pack. Ooh.
Yeah, flippers there in the second chest here.
That's exciting.
Yeah, it adds a little bit of an element. Like, normally you'll see runners when they finish up that south of Lake Hylia route, typically they head over to Ice Rod Cave. But now this means that there is no fake flippering to be done. They're going to be able to swim down and check out Hobo, check out Waterfall of Wishing, and maybe head up to Zora. And Wulfy just picked up his first single bomb from that green guard. So it'll be interesting to see if iamtheschwarz gets their bomb off this guard here. And yes, indeed, that does take place. So nice and even.
Yeah. Now, Wulfy actually ran out of magic, so he decided he needed to save and quit. In order to do that, the way that this randomizer has been programmed, because normally you wouldn't have any magic to start out, but the people behind the scenes that did this mode made sure that there was going to be a little bit of magic that came along, so that you could still use Samaria.
But do you see what just happened there? When you do that, it resurrects that guard, and Wulfy accidentally used his bomb, because that was what item was in his pocket there. I believe probably intended to use the cane, but did not switch, and so now he's got to hunt for a bomb again. That could be very impactful. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, that could really define whether or not he gets to go into the back of Escape or not, because he's only got, I'm going to say, 2 more Samaria usages right now.
Yeah, he's gonna hope to pick up a bomb, maybe from something he can throw a pot on it. At the very least, I would hope he goes and picks up a few of the little mini magic pots that are along the way. They're a little bit out of the way, but it's a lot better than running out of magic power. So yeah, that save and quit strategy can be very useful to get you a little bit of magic refill, but you got to remember that those guards will be respawned. Meanwhile, I am the Schwartz now in the dark part of this escape sequence with full health and a very healthy magic bar and that one bomb. Probably going to have no problems through the escape sequence.
Absolutely. I kind of missed it though. How did Wulfy go through so much magic?
He just spammed the red blocks on the ball and chain guard instead of using all of his the potions. So, or excuse me, the pots, the clay pots, and that it hurts.
Yeah, for sure it does.
I think he did not anticipate it using so much magic. Now there are some. He's not picking up some of these magic pots that are available to him. I wonder if he knows they're here. Here's one, and there's another one as well in this room. I did not pick it up though. Has not managed to acquire a bomb yet, and I am the Schwartz. Bounced a little bit there, but still was able to get into this back room. Grabs 10 arrows. There's the map and a piece of heart. So Wulfy saved. Oh, and there's 8 bombs right at the last second. So he's going to go and check, but not really a required set of pickups. But of course, having the peace of mind knowing that you don't have to come back here is worth way more than just hoping you didn't have to go there.
Absolutely, and not only that, but having 8 bombs, this means he doesn't have to go back and use up some of this precious money that he needs for Zora. He doesn't have to buy the bombs now, and the Schwartz is going to have to. Oh, yeah, so absolutely. We have the ice rod there in the sanctuary chest.
Yeah, and that's a nice item to locate. It's not really what you'd want to find at this point. You probably are looking for a little bit more money and some bomb refills if you are I am the Schwartz. But in the event that Trinex is required, then there's a pendant or a crystal in Turtle Rock. It's nice to have that item in your pocket now as opposed to hoping to find it along the way. So Wulfy gets a map check here. Meanwhile, I am the Schwartz and Wulfy are both skipping the check at Lumberjack Hut. We see that it's the Quake medallion in the mushroom spot, so 1 medallion out of the way.
Absolutely. That's an interesting one to have right at the very beginning. And we'll see if it ends up being a required item later.
20 more. That's actually very nice for I am the Schwartz because he did not have bomb money yet. So if he chooses to go pick it up, he can. There's always a debate here whether or not you choose to go and buy bombs right off the bat or hope that Blind's Hut or the Well is going to have a 3-bomb pack or better along the way. So we'll see what I am the Schwartz chooses to do.
He's going to go ahead and hope for some bombs.
Yeah, and I like this. There's always the chance, and you're going to be checking these anyways, so gets a 10 arrow capacity upgrade to go along with those 10 arrows he picked up after that. A bottle activating sick kit and 50 more rupees, so he's got his bomb money for sure. But Wulfy's going to be able to be a lot more efficient here, not having to come back into this room ever again.
Absolutely, and Wulfy will also be able to check the bottle vendor right now, whereas the Schwartz may not get a chance to do that right now.
Yeah, we'll see what he ends up picking up from these chests here. It's just the red meringue in the back of Blind's Hut. There's the 3 bombs he needs, so that's a real nice pickup for him. He's going to be able to at least clear out Kakariko Village. And the lantern, so no dark rooms for these runners along the way. So at this point, we're 1 item towards Dark World access and 1 item towards Aga 1, so it's an even battle between the 2 runners at this point. Or between the runners and the seed. So Bottle Vendor there has 3 bombs for 100 rupees. Not the greatest deal, but if I Am the Schwarz goes there first, which is what you would expect, he won't have to buy any more bombs in this part, and that might be a place for him to save some money.
Sort of save money, I guess.
Well, instead of spending 150, just 100, I guess.
Yeah.
Not the greatest, but Wulfy's going to show us what Sick Kid has. Just arrow capacity upgrade.
Okay, so Kakariko only really had a lamp.
Yeah, we're still not really at a great weapon loadout for the mini Moldorm Cave. Wulfy, of course, has plenty of bombs to do that, but not really what you want to use. The Ice Rod can be used as well, but he doesn't have the magic power.
Ooh, right, he does not. And just another big 20 on the race game, it looks like.
Yeah, and it was a capacity upgrade in the library shelf, so nothing exciting that way either.
Yeah, this lack of magic is going to be a problem because there's really no easy way of refilling your magic capacity so early in the game, unless you get to one of the dungeon bosses to refill it.
Yeah, we do have the boomerang though, and that might unlock a useful stun prize. So, 3 bombs there is going to be very helpful for I Am the Schwarz. It's going to bring him up to 6 when he gets through the dam sequence, making Mini Moldorm Cave a lot more doable.
Yeah, I'm sure that Wulfy can get through Mini Moldorm Cave with using 3 or 4 bombs. That should be manageable.
Yeah, Schwarz is going to be able to have Cane of Samaria blocks there, and that's probably the more ideal loadout. I am curious as to what the stun prize would be, though.
Yeah, it's something to consider at some point. Both of these runners are not going to give up any drops, well, any money drops right now, just because they are going to try and farm for Zora money. With them being given the flippers so early in the seed, they're definitely going to be looking for that. Also, Wulfy just picked up the fire rod here.
Yeah, double rods. Another bottle as well to go along with it, and that's not such a bad thing because it, I believe, is a bottle of red goo. So
yeah,
a little bit of health.
Yeah, health, but no magic.
They're actually at only 4 hearts still, so they have to be very careful of these crabs. 4 hearts and green mail means crabs in this area. 2 hits is all it takes to put a stop to your progress, and I Am the Schwarz just takes 1. And that's certainly not what you want to have happen.
Definitely not.
Ooh.
Ooh, dear.
Wulfy, stunning all those crabs, but even putting on some swag strats with the diagonal boomerang shot there, but still a little scary.
Oh, thank goodness. Whew.
Wow. It's
Now
always
I have
a
sword.
relief to get a sword, yeah.
Yeah. So, if these runners really wanted to, and if they could go and battle Trinex.
Sure, it could possibly. If it's quick, well, they can't get in there. They had the Titan's bit, but if it's Quake Medallion, it could be first dungeon Turtle Rock. I believe
that hardly ever happens. As in, like, never happens. I don't know if there's ever been a time when the very first dungeon someone were to go into would be Turtle Rock.
Yeah, I think you'd have a lot more available to you in that regard, like, before you got there. But it would be pretty awesome. Just dealing with the chain chops. Well, a full heart container there under the bridge at Hobo for both of these runners is going to help things out a little bit. Interesting that they both chose to take this route. I'm curious, they can't go and get the they don't have the 500 rupees for Zora, but if they can pick up the 2 items at Waterfall of Wishing, and if the Zora ledge is worthwhile, they can grab that as well. But it does mean that they're likely going to have to come back here at some point if Zora is holding on to an important item.
Let's be real. When does Zora ever have something important other than life lessons?
You never know. It has happened. Well, a Master Sword and a glove. So this game is feeding them items required for Aga and Dark World access at the same time.
Wow. Seed is kind of like, I don't know. What are we doing?
So 300 rupees on the ledge. Wulfy's not going to go for it. He's just thinking, oh, I'll grab that later, I guess. If he... iamtheschwarz deciding to pick it up.
Okay.
You never know. Like, it's a low rupee seed. That could be all it takes to get there. Now, either way, I can see how Wulfy deciding not to get it makes sense. He's going to have to come back no matter what. And probably not going to come back until he has at least 500 rupees. And if he doesn't and he has to come back, well, maybe he'll have 200 at that time. But instead,
maybe he's thinking... Oh, I was going to say, maybe he's thinking he doesn't even need to pick it up, assuming that he gets his 300 rupees in another chest later on in the game. Who knows?
Instead, he's going to take a trip up the mountain. No, it is in sequence. He does have the lantern, of course. Well, iamtheschwarz seeming to be of the same mind. Only going to be able to look at the top of Spectacle Rock and get what's under Spectacle Rock, as well as 300 rupees from the old man. So a big tip for that. Of course, that does mean that he can go back to Zora at any time and have enough money, but he would have to make the long loop around. iamtheschwarz will be able to just go straight to Zora at this point.
Okay, nothing on Death Mountain.
Yeah, and it's really getting down to the wire. There's the Eastern Palace checks and Saharshala area checks that the runners can do. That looks to be where Wulfy's going to go, as well. Agina's cave is always there, out of the way, but possibly important.
Who knows? Until we know in like 15 minutes, maybe.
Absolutely, yeah. We did get to see the stun prize there. It is just 5 rupees. So not the most helpful one. And Wulfy's going to give us the back of Saharshala's shed now.
Okay, so just money and the blue boomerang.
Yeah, certainly not what you hope to see.
So there's potentially 3 items in Eastern Palace here that is accessible to them, as long as one of them is not currently on Armos things.
So we are down to just 4 available checks, hoping for either the Titan's Mitts or the Hammer. And if we don't find that, up Castle Tower we will be heading. it is nice to pick up that big key before you make your way across. In case you get all 3 items from the next 3 chests, then you can just nope out of the dungeon.
Absolutely. With them having the lantern so early, I would not be surprised if there's something way back in the back.
So item 1 is a piece of heart. Keep count along the way.
We count to 2 or 3. I can't.
It's hard.
Really.
I sometimes forget. Yes, I believe this is the last of the round of 128 matchups to conclude. Not their fault, it just happens this way. Mushrooms, so fetch quest from item number 2. Not a bad one to have, though, because it leads you back up towards Zora. So, you know, it does extend things. And item number 3 is a green bottle. So, Wulfy, gonna go grab some money here, I think, before heading out. Yeah.
So he's gonna go see what's on Zora then.
Yeah, I like this idea because he doesn't have to go up that ledge and go the long way around a second time. He's going to be able to turn in that mushroom. Now, you might want to hold on to it for fake powder. You do have cane. But when you're trying to dodge an aga seed, sometimes you don't really have a choice. Interesting. He's going to swim down, so he is going to hold on to that. He's going to check Zora first and not go to the waterfall of wishing, or excuse me, to the witch's hut. Meanwhile, iamtheschwarz is going to do that.
See which option pays off. I can't believe they have 3 bottles already.
Yeah, that's nice. Early set of bottles, so they will be having plenty of safety available to them if they acquire enough rupees. So Wulfy's going to be the first one to show us what Zora's hanging on to. Just a 10 bomb capacity upgrade.
Oh, and he's not even going to take it.
No, he's just going to leave it on the ground. And 20 rupees for the mushroom trade. So, really not that great. And that was an interesting little visual glitch. I have never seen that before.
What just happened?
That was bizarre. I saw that and I was just like, wait a minute, we definitely saw that was 300 rupees. But turns out it was when he picked it up. I think even he stumbled there for a moment going like, wait a minute. Now, interestingly, Wulfy's not going to go to Ganon Cave. He's, you know, all right, game. I'm going to go and climb Castle Tower. So, Aga en route. Let's see if iamtheschwarz does the same thing.
Yeah, Wulfy's not even going to bother checking Agana or the mushroom location. Ooh, Schwartz really needs to watch, because he's only got a quarter of a heart left.
Ooh,
or half a heart, I guess.
Oh, so looks like that was a hard reset on iamtheschwarz's side to recover that mushroom and those rupees and that health.
Oh, yeah, that's a smart one.
Now he is, it seems, going down to Agina's Cave. So this might pay off just later on with fake powder if that's an important check. Wow, Wulfy getting bodied here in this maze area of Castle Tower.
Yeah, if those guards see you or hear you, they just swarm you.
So iamtheschwarz is also going to give us a look-see at what's going on the ledge here at the desert. Important information potentially that might be helpful. There's Titansmiths, so it could be useful for him to know that.
Well, that guarantees that the book is somewhere.
Or at least mirror and... Oh yeah, you're right. It has to be book access.
Yep.
Now watch book be here in Agina's cave. Painful revelation. But it's the mirror, so... A useful item, though, to be honest. A lot of things are going to open up because of that mirror. And Wulfy might not get over to Agina's cave for quite some time, so... Although this didn't prevent an Agus seed, iamtheschwarz gets that important item, and it may play a role. Mira actually opens up Tower of Hera, so iamtheschwarz could go up there, but instead is going to go up Castle Tower.
All right, it's our unofficial guessing game, chat. How many blue balls does Agina have in store for us today?
There's one.
Still at one.
I think we've had two.
Oh, jeez. See, I am bad at counting.
We had two. Okay. So Wulfy takes down Aghanim and gets Dark World access. What's going to be very interesting here is if this doesn't pay off, and it's possible that Tower of Hera, of course, is where they needed to head, but...
Wow. So there's the boots, which means that we could see them needing to check the lumberjack.
Boots were found. Sorry, I'm lagging out, I think.
Well, you're back now, so welcome. Yeah, I was just saying lumberjack might have something important. But it looks like Wulfy's gonna go straight into catfish.
So sorry, folks, I unfortunately lost a little bit of internet connection there, but back I am.
Catfish is just giving us 300 rupees, and the Schwartz is just getting ready to head into to fight the tennis match of ages.
So Boots on Pyramid Ledge opens up Bonk Rocks.
Yep. Bonk Rocks, King's Tomb. Once they have the gloves, anyway, or the Titan's mitts, and the lumberjack ledge. Ooh, tempered.
Not a bad find.
Yeah.
And we're gonna get a peek here at what's going on in the lumberjack ledge. So. Wulfy's just going to go ahead and blind do it. We have no idea what's there.
Oh, not at all. I'm gonna say book. Oh, nothing. Huh. So, it's possible that they didn't have to beat Ganon.
Well, they could also have something in Palace of Darkness if it's not bow locked.
Oh yes, yep.
And still that Tower of Hera. Now, Wulfy, on Wulfy's side, he has no way of knowing the Tower of Hera is live.
No.
I am the Schwarz could know. Schwarz could know that.
Yeah, I have a feeling that. Oh no, Schwartz forgot that he needed to go the other way in order to get onto that ledge area, and he's going to be very happy to find these boots.
Yeah, absolutely.
Feeling that he's going to go once he goes up to the catfish area and does that check. He's going to go up to Hera. Wow, that was a fast check.
Even more awful is that Palace of Darkness turns out to be a green pendant.
Oh no.
So that's uncomfortable. Red pendants happening over in Misery Mire. So, kinda yucky as far as the dungeon situation is concerned. So big moment of truth here is this is a bow locked situation. We're about to find that out if this is anything but a small key, but it is, so they do have access to some more Palace of Darkness.
That's good to know. That means that Ganon was not defeated in battle.
At least not yet.
We're gonna see Vanilla Hammer.
Yeah, we'll need either a hammer or a book here for that to have been a good call.
Wulfy's gonna use that key to get into the back half here. Probably gonna end up having to do a bomb jump if he doesn't find a key back here.
Yeah, there's one right there.
There's one, okay.
Yeah, the one nice thing about Palace of Darkness is you can almost count on not getting a bad key situation. There's just so many of them available. And he is going to make an attempt to bomb jump, to do a hammer jump here. And I like that play instead of using up his last bomb, or his last key.
Yeah, for sure.
Looks pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, perfect. Just bombs in the big key chest.
This is a net positive situation. Grabs a big 20 out of the first chest here in the Dark Hall. Now he's really got to count on this. This chest needs to pay off, and it's the flute.
Okay.
So it's an important item, but isn't going to have netted him a location that he couldn't have already gotten to. I don't know
There's
that
still two more checks he's got, though.
Oh, he has the one. Yeah, but they are. Oh, yeah, he has these ones because he did the bomb jump.
And one was a key, so that's perfect.
Yeah. Well, it has to be. What's going to be interesting is, oh, they're both keys.
Huh, okay.
So that means that the items in behind the bow locked area not accessible unless he chooses to use the potion glitch, which he could. And that looks like his plan.
Okay, that's great. That's 2 more items. Oh wait, where is he going? Did he change his mind? Oh, he didn't set it up. Okay. Yeah.
Well, he needed to use some magic. Maybe he...
I feel like you have to set up the camera in a certain way.
Yeah, you do have to keep the camera angle off to the side, and I think he has it. Yep, he does.
Yeah.
Just gotta walk everybody off the screen, and you're good to go. So now these checks are technically not in logic. So if this leads to the book or the hammer, that means Bo's up on Tower of Hera. But it doesn't.
Yeah, okay, so there's no logic breaks at this point, or like there's no items, major items given out of logic. But now that he's got the flute, he's gonna activate that.
Yeah, hopefully this will lead him down into desert so he can go to Agina's cave to grab that mirror.
Yeah, and then that'll lead him up to Tower of Hera. So, you know what? I really don't think that they needed to defeat Ganon.
Yeah, at this point, it's definitely something in Tower of Hera.
Yeah.
Will either open up more progression or lead to those Titan's myths up on the desert. Yeah, so they could find something like Hookshot, they could find, which could then lead to a whole bunch of new places. Wulfy's gonna get his first piece of information that, hey, there's Titan's myths. And Mirror here is gonna make him, you know, he's going to feel no matter what, I think, after he gets this mirror, he's gonna feel behind. Because he's gonna think that his opponent probably did Tower of Hera instead of Aghanim. At least I would were I in his shoes.
Oh yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah. And he does have a... He could have fluted, but instead he's going to use the old man.
Not sure if it saves too much time overall. Oh.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, where is he gonna go? Oh, he hasn't turned into the mushroom.
He hasn't turned into the mushroom yet either. That's another check that he elected to forego. Sorry, Wulfy, you're gonna have to actually go and...
He's stocking up on his potions.
Yeah, that's interesting.
You know, they still only have 6. They only have 6 hearts still.
That's true. I think we're starting to see some flustered play on both sides of the screen. Just kind of getting a little frustrated, like, wait, what have I missed, or where should I go?
Wulfy, it's a bit of a confusing seed.
Yeah, I think Wulfy clearly knows that he can go up to Tower of Hera. He just wanted to check that mushroom first. And while he was there, pick up that blue goo. Yeah, there is no progression. There's no way to get to the west side of the Dark World yet. Either hammer or hookshot. Hookshot would get you there. Which would then make it still an agar required seed. So there is still the chance that this was necessary.
Yeah, that would be interesting to see.
Yeah. They also have... Oh, no, they don't have hammer. So basement of Tower of Hera provides them with a key. Fortunately, they have that lantern early on. And that's actually even more troublesome because it could be, you know, lantern sometimes signals that you're going to have to do Aghanim, but it also is a fire source telling you, hey, you could do basement if you need to.
They also got the fire rod relatively early too.
That's true as well, yeah. Either way, the fire source is early on.
Yeah, I think there's probably something back down here, but they're gonna do They're gonna do Moldorm first.
Well, there are 2 items to pick up here, so they're just looking for either or. Turns out that the seed doesn't want to give them 2 in this direction, or may not want to give them 2 without having to check without having to kill Moldorm. Now, of course, he's a pendant boss, so
That's just how these seeds are, right?
yeah, you never want to be easy. Oh no!
Oh my goodness.
Item definitely on Moldorm and in the bait.
All right, so we got Moldorm strats and Coffee Brick strats ahead of us.
Yeah. Now, fortunately, Tempered Sword Tempered Sword Trolldorm is actually pretty easy. That's like Hammer strats, only longer range and easier.
Oh dear. Let's just not fall off though. There it is, 2 hits. He's down. Oh my gosh.
Oh, hook shot it is. Now,
Yes.
that opens up all of Paradox. The East Death Mountain is available now, so lots and lots of goodies. But do you bail out, or do you go check that basement there? You know there's still an item here. And when you're still looking for Dark World access, you've got to check everywhere.
You have to. Yeah, you have to. There is no option. I can't see either of them for going down here.
Yeah, it's just not worth the risk. The one thing that Hookshot does do, of course, is it allows you to travel from the east side of the Dark World to the west side, but only that direction. The flippers will let you come back. So they do have access to everywhere in the Dark World now, thanks to that Castle Tower play, but it's not convenient, to say the least. So the Schwarz is the one who bails on the basement.
So now all they need is just to have no progression to allow them to do anything except Pyramid Dark World access, and needing to find something at Pyramid Ferry.
So it was just a piece of heart.
And the Schwarz just picked up Fire Shield and some money in Paradox Cave. And he decided just to forego the tile room completely.
Yeah. So we get here a bee in a bottle out of Paradox Cave, another piece of heart. Come on, something. And 50 rupees. There's also Spiral Cave.
Okay,
so
yeah.
Still a check. Another check to be had. Spiral Cave is in existence, ladies and gentlemen. Chat's already claiming it was Aga required. There's still a chest. So a piece of heart up on the floating island. Good information to have for later. Doesn't help right now.
Yeah. So they're looking for either the hammer or the book. If it's not Aghanim required.
Yeah, that's the only thing that stops this from being an Aga required seed. That's going to make them feel a lot better, but it's the book!
Oh,
So that opens up the Dark World for them. They'll be able to go to the desert, clear Desert Palace out completely. That will be the first dungeon they finish that's a crystal dungeon, and grab Titan's Mitts out of that.
Now, this was so convoluted that I'm sure that both of the runners are thinking, you know what? My opponent probably did go for Aghanim.
Well,
It's hard to say.
you have to think, like, iamtheschwarz definitely was able to not have played this call. So Wulfy can't really think too much about it, but Schwarz must be thinking to himself, I didn't have to do this. I know I could have gone up there and taken care of all of this without Aga. So it's definitely a question to remember to ask at the end of this seed when we get these players in for a chat, hopefully.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, and if this blows the seed way open, it'll be really telling. So a full heart container, there's the first item. Wait a minute. No, never mind. I was thinking for a second, oh wait, they did need the boots, and that was on the pyramid ledge, but they don't need the boots to actually get to the Dark World. They can leave at any time to pick up those Titans.
So the seed wanted you to go up to Tower of Hera to get your hook shot, and then go across to get your book, and then come to Desert to then get your Titan's Mitts. Oh wait, no, you wouldn't even have been able to do that to get your Titan's Mitts.
Yes.
Yeah, you could have. And then you'd have to go all the way over to the pyramid to get your boots, and then come back to Desert Palace to finish Desert Palace.
Right, but of course you could have done a lot of goodies along the way as well. This now opens up a whole section of the world for them. They have, they're going to have Thieves Town, Skull Woods available along the way. There's the entire North Check, Graveyard Ledge, King's Tomb. Oh, not King's Tomb before the boots, but they will at this point. So, yeah, the logic here, a little convoluted, sort of technically requiring logically a double dip here in Desert, but both of these runners, because of their play into Aga 1, won't have to have that double dip. Now, what I'm curious to see is if either of these runners chooses to go right from here and check Misery Mire. It may be completable with that Quake Medallion.
Oh man. With it being a pendant, that would be...
Oh, it is a pendant, yeah.
Yeah. But it would be good information just to go in and there's 3 items that they can look at least. Then they can see what medallion is required for Misery Mire, so it would be something to try.
Yeah, I would imagine that they at least do the 3 checks. They're right here. iamtheschwarz gets a 2 cycle here on Landmolus. And it's interesting that skip on the Tower of Hera basement, which may weigh heavily on his mind if they get to a point where they're stuck searching for an item, has allowed him to pass Wulfy and take the lead again, if you would call it a lead. More of an advantage.
It really depends if the Schwarz decides to check the basement of Hera at some point, depending on how kind the seed is for finding the rest of the items that they need.
So it is Bombos there to get into Misery Mire. That's kind of a nice thing to see. You know you're not going to feel pressured into going in there looking for another item.
Absolutely.
$50 rupees and a piece of heart.
We'll check out to see what's on our checkerboard ledge here. There's also a ether tablet.
Ooh, butter sword, so...
Oh, wow.
Schwarz willing to pick that up.
Yeah. Yeah, so they're going to be checking the Bombos tablet, I'm sure, at some point, because it's right close to them.
Yeah, they'll have to go from...
the Dark World.
The Dark World, yeah. iamtheschwarz is going to go to check that ether tablet now. I think that's a curious call instead of going and doing Village of Outcasts and Thieves Town Skull Woods. But
I wonder if he's gonna take the basement as well.
oh yeah, he may choose to do that. Now, of course, the other opportune time to do these checks would be when you're coming back with Dark Death Mountain, and those checks might be a little bit more efficient. So just a 5 arrow capacity upgrade here, and I am the Schwartz is heading back, so I think he's going to go down to that tower base. He's not.
Ooh. Is he gonna check? I don't know. Oh, he is gonna go down to do Dark Death Mountain.
Yeah.
Ooh, say that 5 times faster.
Yeah, it's difficult. Meanwhile, Wulfy is up in Skullwoods now.
Okay, so there's a newer.
Big time divergence, and that pays off heavily for Wulfy. Hammer time done. So at this point, it's merely a bow from Go, I believe. And perhaps the medallion.
Yeah, that's correct. We're just looking for the bow and the medallion if needed.
Yeah, and I Am the Schwartz is actually going to give us that medallion information in just a few minutes, so a couple of hearts here on Super Bunny Cave. And Turtle Rock is Quake, so yes, just the bow. Silver arrows might be nice, but not necessarily required.
Okay, so they're in bow mode.
Well, there's Canterburna. That's not what you're looking for if you're Iron Schwartz.
Not right now, no. That kind of puts their Spike Cave. Oh, he doesn't have the hammer yet, but
yeah, he does not have it. So presumably he will head into the Skullwoods Thieves Town area next. One of the nice things about having Butter Sword on Wulfy's side, and on both sides actually, is that those Gyptos only really take 2 hits with tempered or with that sword. Wulfy...
Now with the Butter Sword, though, I don't know if the Butter Sword is actually going to work on Mothula.
Yeah, it does work on Mothula. The Randomizer
Fix the glitch.
The developers have fixed the glitch. It does work. If you are an MG player, you might think, "Wait a minute, that shouldn't. That's not supposed to be a thing," or know that that's a problem. But it is, fortunately, not an error.
Wulfy is going to check to see if... Never mind. No, he's not.
Yeah, I was wondering if he was going to double check that. You're right there. You know,
yeah,
like...
It'd be good information to have, you know?
Yeah, I agree. Absolutely. But nope. So I Am the Schwartz is going back first in Skullwoods. That's nothing to... That's a pretty valid strategy.
Okay, so there's their powder.
Yeah, and that's a nice find, just for the fact that they don't have very much armor right now, and their hearts are relatively low. Having that extra, the ability to turn those anti-fairies into actual fairies is pretty nice. I Am the Schwartz also having not a hard time there with Mothula.
He got a little bit bodied, but he still managed to come out ahead.
So first chest here in Thieves Town is 20 rupees.
Well, first item anyway. First chest had the key in it.
Yeah. I'm Schwartz going back in because that was only the first item for him, so he's got to check this chest here. Another big 20, and there's the compass. So 2 items out of the front of Thieves' Town.
Okay. Oh, I was gonna say maybe the Schwartz is gonna go ahead and do the back half. Oh, maybe they are.
Well, yeah, he only picked up the 1 item, and we know that he's going to get the hammer from finishing up Skullwoods. Meanwhile, Wulfy making their way through the top part of Thieves' Town, gets that 3rd item. 1 more left.
What's the 2nd item?
Yeah, 2 big 20s so far.
Okay. So lots of money in Thieves' Town. It's kind of fitting, right? There are a bunch of thieves. Money. And the Schwartz is picking up their hammer. I'm sure he's quite happy about that.
Yeah, at this point, we know that it won't be a pedestal required seed because Palace of Darkness is a pendant and you would need the bow to get through there.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, in Thieves' Town. So Wulfy hits go mode. I'm the Schwartz just double checking Bumper Cave there. So we're going fast now for the rest of this seed. That's a lot of go mode dungeons for Wulfy to take care of.
That is amazing. So they're going to be able to do go mode swamp and go mode ice palace. And then with them already going through most of Eastern, they'll be able to just dip in real quick to do that. And then it's Turtle Rock.
Yeah, and even go mode Turtle Rock can be fast if you don't have to do Mimic Cave, if you don't get Laser Bridge. That's a little bit more dependent on where you find keys in the big key, but could happen.
Good indeed, and Wulfy just pulled off a really clean blind fight.
So for an AGA required, well, not AGA required, but an AGA completed seed at 57 minutes, Wulfy's in go mode. I'm the Schwartz, about a full dungeon. Well, actually, exactly a full dungeon behind. And it's really going to come down now to Wulfy's execution. The rest of it's just catch up for I'm the Schwartz. Yeah, Wulfy may not know he's in go mode. He may think he still has some medallions to check.
Oh, right. So he might be spending a bit of extra time here and there.
Yeah, if I were Wulfy, and I'm not, he's done much better than I did in the would have done in the tournament. But if I were him, I would probably want to just do that Dark Death Mountain check. Get it done with now and know if you're in go mode or not before spending any time dipping into any tower dungeons. It could pay off. Or just hope you are in go. But it looks like he's going to do as I just suggested.
Definitely in this case a smart move to do that. So I'm assuming that he'll just complete Turtle Rock as well while he's up there.
Yeah, you might as well at this point just because you're here. You have everything you need. I mean, it would be nice to find some armor, but you can't count on that. You got to assume your opponent is doing the same thing you're doing. So in full go mode, I've seen Turtle Rock, or I've seen Ice Palace and Swamp Palace cleared in about 3 minutes each. We'll see if that'll be nice for these guys.
Absolutely, yeah. Ganon's tower can take about 4 or 5 minutes, and then Ganon himself takes another 3 minutes or so if you've got good strategies.
So Wulfy's going to go into Turtle Rock, and I like this play. It's going to be a bit of a challenge. He's got to be very careful with his life. He's only can take a couple of hits by those chain chomps, for instance.
Well, if he's used to NMG...
Yeah, he should be good. He should be able to.
Okay.
What's interesting there is he chose to not go towards that single chest. That's a pretty risky gamble. Unless he's going to go there next. Maybe he'll use a mirror and go check the first chest. It could be the big key, for example. 2 keys here. So Negators asks why go to Turtle Rock over the others, and the answer to that is if you don't know what Turtle Rock's medallion is, and there's checks up on Death Mountain to check, this allowed Wulfy to know he was in go mode. It's not necessarily the most efficient plan, because he'll have to come back up the mountain again when going to Ganon's tower, but for him, it gave him that information that was important. So X1372 asks in chat as well, if you were an incredibly amazing hoverer, could you do Turtle Rock without Cane of Samaria? And the answer is yes.
But do you also want Carpal Tunnel?
Even the short gaps are still like 23 to 25 frame perfect button presses. So imagine some of the long-term damage you'd be doing to yourself. So iamtheschwarz going to go and do Ice Palace first of his go modes. I imagine there's a task run showing someone doing that, or a computer, an emulator doing it.
Yeah, but task is a completely different ball game.
Yeah. And at that point, there are other skips that you could do. If you're going to go maximum glitches. So Wulfy, keeping a good count of these keys, knows that he can actually head and skip a larger chunk of Turtle Rock than you normally can, even in go mode.
He's only got 2 hearts remaining.
But he has powder, he's got potions. He's going to use one of the
true.
potions now. I was going to think that he might have saved... I mean, he has access to this anti-fairy, so I'm surprised he used his blue potion there, but... iamtheschwarz coming back to the witch here for blue pots. Did not make it through Ice Palace there. That's very unfortunate for his time.
You know, it's tough to get through the whole game with only green.
It is.
Green mail, yeah.
Unfortunately here for Wulfy, he didn't get the switch on his Fire Rod to Ice Rod, or Ice Rod to Fire Rod. So Trinex there not only got through a cycle, but also put some slippery ice on the ground. Shouldn't matter, and it doesn't, but...
No, not with the golden sword.
No zero cycle for him, though.
So I think the Schwartz might have had a problem with the bomb jump, because the bomb jump pixel is a little bit different when you have the golden sword.
Yeah, and with no way to regain health, he had to do this. Now, fortunately with the flute, it's not as awful as it would have been, but that gave Wulfy another full complete dungeon. And probably one of the longer dungeons that you have to do in this situation, taken care of for him.
The longest.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Eastern Palace is the second longest, and they've already done everything. So all they have to do is just go through the first half of it and go through what are they called?
Yeah, they don't have to take the divergent paths to pick up chests.
Yeah, they just have to go right to the Igors. All right, Schwartz. See, this is a tricky one because you can either use the sword to buffer yourself, and if you have the regular Link sprite, you can also use the very top of his head. But I don't know what the frog looks like.
I
personally
use, that's not a good one. I personally use he's got to go up.
That's good.
I personally use the shadow circle. It's similar on most sprites, but there are definitely sprites that have different ones as well.
So how do you line up with the shadow circle? Do you line it up with the bomb circle as well?
There's one of those little triangle zigzaggies. You got to be halfway down it.
Okay.
You know, on the edges of the pit, and that's just where I know that's where I need to be, and that's how I do it. And obviously being on the edge, the top edge of so you place your bomb, you hold your sword out towards the doorway, place your bomb at the top edge, and then just move down to that halfway spot, and good to go.
So Schwartz is gonna head into Cold Stare fight. He has exactly enough magic for this, and with Golden Sword should be able to finish them off as long as they don't get away from him. And a few hits. There we go. There's one.
He's gotta be careful.
Yeah. Yeah, 2 hearts remaining. Wulfy is also not very healthy either.
And we can see here just how much that has cost iamtheschwarz. Wulfy finished off Turtle Rock and has basically caught up to him in Cold Stare.
Wulfy is not going to play any games here. He's just gonna go ahead, refill himself up.
Interesting of his choice to use the fire rod, though. The sword takes these out faster, the butter sword, but whatever makes you comfortable.
Absolutely. Well, it looks like 6 hearts of damage to 1 puff, so you definitely don't want to give him any hugs.
Yeah, it's so much damage because of the green mail. So, of all of the dungeons to go mode, I personally love Swamp Palace. It just feels so much faster than... It's about the same speed increase as Ice Palace, but this just, for some reason, to me, feels just so much faster than actually having to clear it at all.
Yeah, it's nice not having to go into the left side anyway if you're doing the vanilla routing.
Yeah, you can just grab the key out of the next room and push out your way to victory. What will be curious is if either runner stops to try to pick up some silvers from a few of these chests that are along the way. I would imagine they wouldn't. And iamtheschwarz is also, and both actually iamtheschwarz and Wulfy are both very low on bombs as well at this point. So that could play a role in Ganon's tower. If they think to go and replenish their hearts and not pay attention to when they do need that bomb.
Yeah, definitely a good point. I'm trying to remember where you can get bombs while you're going up the tower. I believe they only need one bomb.
Yeah, just the one, but it's arrows are typically the more likely problem. But I have seen a runner get all the way up there and be like, I have no bombs.
Let's see if Schwarz can get this in one cycle.
Wow, that was pretty cool.
Oh,
Getting nice pokes there.
Yeah, that was good. Oh, almost.
Oh, missed one.
It looked like it was...
Oh, no!
Oh. Uh-oh. Oh, no.
Oh, that's so awful.
Oh,
And I honestly feel like this is a case of a stress situation where he feels like he was behind, and so he's just playing a little bit too casually, trying to be like a little too risky.
I don't know. I honestly think he thought that he had killed that one puff.
Yeah, at this point, that's going to put him 2 dungeons, well, a full dungeon and a half behind. Turtle Rock, of course, the worst of the 2 dungeons for him to have to deal with.
Yeah. But it's not over yet.
No, of course, with green mail, Ganon's going to hurt. Wulfy has less health. And yeah, we are about to see something truly rare. I'm surprised that neither runner decided to just check that chest there. You never know. Could have been mail. Could have been silvers. As I'm saying, though, we are going to see the very rare final dungeon, Eastern Palace. So, first dungeon of the game, last dungeon of the game. He's back down to 2 hearts again. He's got to be careful here. There's... Ooh, that invulnerability frames from that hook shot saved him there.
Yeah. Almost got it. You do, if you can get 2 fire rod shots and a spin, you can kill him off right away in 1 cycle.
Yeah. Yeah, and Nifboy pointing out in chat, yeah, we had no hype cave. There are a lot of checks actually left that that are going to stay that way. This will be a very low item collected seed.
Very much so.
I'm Schwarz, where are you going?
It is a good question, actually.
It's not Palace of Darkness, my friend. Oh, good, he remembered. Maybe this is faster. He can avoid the ladders. Oh, gets the mirror bomb, but he can see that he needs to go forward a few more. And Wulfy showing us some machine gun action here on Armos Knights.
Very clean fight.
So with that, it brings us to time to climb Ganon's Tower.
There are 22 possible item locations. Get your guesses in. Unfortunately, we can't actually do the official game because we're not on the Speed Gaming channel. But for fun, let's make some guesses anyway. Do you have a guess, Crozo?
You know, I've been, I like a seed like this. I think it's fast seed, so I'm going to go with location number 3. That's my go-to.
I'm going to go with 6.
All right. So, a few more seconds for you guys to get your valid guesses in as Wulfy dashes along here to make their way into Ganon's Tower.
And meanwhile, we see the Schwarz finishing up Armos Knights. He will then need to go through Turtle Rock.
So Wulfy's going to head over to the right side first, the very typical start. We'll see if after getting these 2 chests, if he picks up a key, if he decides to continue on with the right side check. But no key means time to go left. Chests 1 and 2 don't pay off.
It would be nice if they find a mail upgrade or even silver arrows.
So for me, I'm out of the game. Small key was on torch location, so there's check number 3.
And 6 and 7, or 5 and 6 are going to be up in this bonk room here, skeleton room, whatever it's called.
Staff house room. Yeah. 4 is key. 5 is a key. All the keys.
Okay, well, I also lost, so RIP.
6 and 7.
Oh,
You were very close.
was. Alright, who guessed 7?
Well,
I see Black Wolf 93.
Stu 729 and Ozuki, all with 7s.
Congratulations. You all get bragging rights for the next, I don't know, 8 minutes.
And then we'll all forget that it happened. So Wulfy starts the gauntlet section. First room goes down really well.
Oh, I think he managed to pull off a little glitch that you can get parts at once if you happen to use the hookshot on the right frame.
Yeah, it did look like he had to hookshot that heart twice, and he got health both times. So.
Trying to say that words are hard sometimes.
Yeah, little glitches like that you don't always see. That's a new one for me. I've never actually seen that happen.
It's rare to need to do it, but it is a thing.
So Landmolus 2 down pretty quickly. iamtheschwarz having a little bit of trouble here with these chain shops. They're in a very dangerous spot. Ooh, threading the needle.
Wulfy getting these whiz robes down really fast. I don't know. The arrow drop would have been nice to have. Oh, I guess he doesn't need them because he is gonna have to do spin strats on Ganon. Unless, of course, he somehow comes across the silver arrows in the next, what, 3 chests he's got left? Almost ran out of magic, oh my.
Yeah, there is a full magic pot here for him to pick up, though, so...
Yep. Oh no. Okay, there he goes. Luckily, there's another full magic refill in the next.
And he actually gained bombs along the way, so able to safely navigate this room.
And he's not even playing games. He's not opening up any more chests. He is going straight to the prize, not even hoping for silvers at this point.
Yeah, and I think, you know, he's probably watching that chat, the race room, like a hawk. When you do Aga in a seed that didn't require Aga, you feel bad until it's over.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he probably doesn't realize the gap that he has right now.
Yeah.
Right, so are we ready for tennis mixed with geometry?
So a single on the first cycle. Ooh, nice triple.
3, yeah. Good. He just needs 2 more. And there they are. Oh.
Yeah, the first 2 hits.
Sometimes they don't hit, yeah.
But that's a nice one. It's a 1, 2, 3. Or 1, 3, 2.
Excellent. Okay, so he's going to be entering Ganon just around the same time that Schwartz is going into Trinex.
Now with Silverless, there's still plenty of opportunity to get bonked around, but the hardest part is definitely getting past the first two phases. And since he has the Butter Sword, that's not going to be a problem at all.
Right, yep. Second phase. He's on right now. Probably going to enter into phase 3 right after this. Yep,
Good dodging on those fire bats. And I am the Schwartz grabs that final crystal as well. So when doing Silverless, you definitely want to get this torch glitch just to allow you the opportunity to be able to get maybe 3 spins. You grab that first spin, which is really nice. Gets the glitch.
Yeah. Okay, so he's got it.
There's a second hit.
3 hits. Now I missed it. Is there supposed to be 8 or 12 when you have the golden sword?
5, I believe. People have told me that it's 12, but it seems that was 6. Oh, missed that.
Find out.
I think it's still 12.
Okay.
That was
Okay,
it.
it's still 12. Cool. Alright, unless my counting is really bad. He's at 10.
That was 11. And there's 12.
12. Awesome.
So now, as long as Wulfy's going to be able to navigate this incredibly treacherous 3-tile-wide bridge, he's going to successfully complete this game with an official speed racing TV time of 1 hour, 27 minutes, and 15 seconds. So let's throw our GGs up in the chat for Wulfy taking victory here in this bracket. Meanwhile, I am the Schwartz choosing to go right side. Picked up that
And he
key.
will be, oh, sorry. Yeah, so he will be going up against Ferrami. Hopefully I said that right. In the 64 bracket stage.
And with that, we're going to be joined by Wulfy to get his final thoughts on this particular bracket. Congratulations, welcome Wulfy to the channel, and GG. How are you feeling after this particular race?
Pretty glad I won that. Wasn't necessarily expecting to.
Why not?
Well, like I said, it would all hinge on whether Schwartz also did AGA 1, which it seems he did.
Yeah, both of you ended up doing Aghanim 1, and what happened when you realized that you didn't necessarily do it?
I really hope that he did it as well. But I mean, I figured it was a decent chance that he did, because a lot of players would pick AGA 1 over Agina's Cave.
Well, the interesting thing is that he ended up going to Agina's Cave anyway. He got the mirror and still chose to do Aghanim.
Oh, so he just picked it over going up to Hera then.
Yeah, he had gone to Agina's Cave shortly, like during the South Shore check, I believe. Or was it right after going to Zora? So
right after Zora. He did that right before deciding to do Aghanim.
But man, that seed was so free if we just didn't do Aga or Palace of Darkness.
Yeah.
The flute was a nice pickup in Palace of Darkness, but yeah, as you say, not required.
I mean, the one thing that was nice about doing Aghanim is it led to the boots on the pyramid, which you might have put off otherwise, and they were required for desert.
Yeah, you could have wasted a lot of time there for sure.
And so there we see the Schwarz, just as I was saying earlier, having to use his bottle there instead of bouncing across to that fairy room because he's down to 1 bomb here in Ganon's Tower. So Wulfy, you had a tie. I guess that was Friday. Going into this 1-on-1, and now that you've successfully passed this, how are you feeling about going into the next round of the bracket stage?
I have not actually looked at who my next opponent is yet. Do you guys happen to know?
It's for Ami.
Oh, well, that should be a good match.
Absolutely, it will be. Wulfy, I was going to ask you about your ball and chain guard. Samaria strats there. It looks like you ran out of magic and then got yourself a little bit more magic by saving and quitting.
Yeah. Which was actually bad because I forgot to menu back to my cane and accidentally used my bomb. But then I got a free 8 bomb right at the end, so that made up for it.
Yeah, we were commenting on that oh, you must have, not just trying to go quick and accidentally dropped that 1 bomb. But very nice pickup at the end there to kind of satisfy your curiosity as to what might have been in the back of this game.
Yeah, and it also was helpful having that 8 bomb drop. So it sort of was a blessing in disguise that you ended up running out of magic and running out of bombs there.
Yeah, didn't have to buy bombs.
Yeah, exactly.
So aside from the obvious oops of having done Aghanim, was there any other moments where you were feeling like that was a mistake, or that you pathed well, or any other kind of critical moments that you felt happened during the course of this race that allowed you to take the victory here, Wulfy?
Everything after I got the book I felt was fine. It all worked out well. I was actually holding out hope that Aghanim would still be required because, I might have to hook shot over to West Dark World. But the last possible chest that I could check killed those hopes by being the book.
Right, yes, if it was hookshot that you got from Tower of Hera. And if book wasn't available, you would have been able to hookshot to the west side, yes.
Yeah, that was a pretty nerve-wracking run, but in the end worked out well.
And with that, iamtheschwarz now on his Aga 2 fight.
Was there anything that stood out for you in terms of your execution or anything? Anything that you were particularly proud of? A fight that went really well?
Execution was pretty sloppy early on. I think I hit my stride a bit more later, especially in Ganon's Tower. a nice 3-cycle Aga, pretty decent gauntlet.
Yep. Yeah, that was a really clean gauntlet fight. Being in go mode so early, being able to go mode pretty much everything, Swamp Palace, Ice Palace, you were able to just sort of zoom right through, right?
Yeah, a lot of ways it felt like an MG speedrun. It had about the same amount of equipment and just blowing through the dungeons.
Yeah, even Turtle Rock behaved nicely with all the keys being available.
Yeah.
Yeah, and especially only having green mail.
It's the lowest number of hearts I've finished with in quite a while, especially with no mail.
Yeah, with a collection rate of only 121 items, that's pretty low considering places like Hype Cave, all of the North Route, all of the South Route around Village of Outcasts. Clearly,
yeah, you skipped a lot of things that you don't normally skip.
And Ganon letting us know that the Silver Arrows were somewhere in the Light World. Could pretty much be any number of places, though.
That's the thing, right?
I think probably like Graveyard Ledge, maybe King's Tomb.
Oh man, Schwarz is making me a little uncomfortable here with these almost falls.
Right on the edge.
Yeah, living life on the edge, so to speak.
But he's hitting all of these spins, so he's having a really good Silverless fight.
Yep. There it is.
There it goes.
Yeah, you guys missed Hype Cave.
So Schwarz enters the Triforce room and completes his run of Seed with an official Speed Racing TV time of 1 hour, 36 minutes, and 51 seconds. So just under 10 minutes behind. And we'll see about grabbing him and pulling him into the channel for just his thoughts on the tournament and on this particular matchup. The Schwarz letting us know that he has no mic, so he is answering questions in the chat right now. If you're so inclined to ask him some things.
Congratulations, congratulations, Schwarz. Very good execution.
So I should say, and I should mention it, we didn't really get much of an opportunity because of the fast pace of this race. But if you enjoyed what you saw, and you haven't already done so, both iamtheschwarz and Wulfy would probably appreciate any follows or love on their respective channels. So head on over to them and show them that you appreciate their performance, as well as all of the other players who have made this tournament such a wild success, providing us with hours and hours and hours of entertainment over the past several weeks and months. I'm sure they would greatly appreciate it.
Thank you so much to our runners tonight. Thank you so much to our wonderful chat for helping us keep on top of everything and having some good conversation as we go through this. Yeah, it was really fun. Thank you so much to our tracker Nifboy, our restreamer Iceman F1, and of course, thank you so much Crowzone80. It was a very fun time with you for the last hour and a half.
Absolutely, and you as well. Just for the information of everybody in the channel, have a couple of minutes on A Link to the Past Randomizer 3, Glowin versus Dowtone. And in 31 minutes on Speed Gaming 3, Number Play versus Salty Fry taking place. So plenty of action in Randomizer tonight and for the rest of this week, as most of the players are now in the round of 64 brackets. So things are just going to get more fast and furious along the way. So I hope that you continue to watch and you have a great time enjoying this game and all of the races.